Talofa lava, o lo'i ngō o Jacoba Matapo. My name is Jacoba Matapo, and I'm the Associate Dean Pasifika at the Faculty of Education and Social Work. Thank you, first of all, for the invitation to talk briefly about RPEIPP, Rethinking Pacific Education Initiative by Pacific Peoples. And considering sort of future directions of the significance of RPEIPP. I guess before moving into the future directions, it's really important to recognise the sort of evolution of RPEIPP and its contribution to broader Pacific scholarship within education across the Pacific region. So the establishment of RPEIPP really was initiated in December of 2000, and initially it was a conversation that had emerged between Professor Kornaihilu Tharman, Dr. Ana Maui Taufuliunaki, and Dr. Kabini Sanga. And it had come through in terms of the tensions of navigating research, particularly Pacific research and education, in response to sort of imposing Eurocentric ideologies and frameworks in education, and particularly the impact of that across the Pacific region. So, you know, that was in 2000. And here we are in 2021. So looking, you know, respectively at history and the tensions there that were prevalent, you know, as a Pacific scholar and Pacifica researcher, I strongly believe that these tensions are still visible today. And unfortunately, the privileging of sort of Eurocentric frameworks in education is inescapable. So when I think about future directions for RPEIPP, it really is about demonstrating the rigor and even the mobility of Pacific Indigenous thinking in terms of philosophy, in terms of intersectionality, in terms of even interdisciplinary ways of thinking about research and its reach in terms of impact to community at a local level, but even across the Pacific region. What excites me is seeing now more broader connections too, made across to making more visible in research, particularly in Pacifica or Pacific education research, connections with Micronesia and Melanesia as well. What I would hope for the future of RPEIPP is the ongoing elevation and opportunity for you know, broad Pacific Indigenous research and really prioritizing at the core Pacific values, Pacific ontology and epistemology. I think it's an exciting space. I think it is absolutely needed in terms of decolonizing the academy, in terms of indigenizing education, and really building a sustainable future for success for Pacific peoples across the Pacific region. So those are my thoughts on that in terms of future directions for RPEIPP. Whawhataitele lava.